Hello and welcome to Failure and Analysis. I'm playing Blood Bowl 2 with my Dwarf team against Chaos Dwarf. This is game 3. No, well, yes, game 3. Oh boy, Dwarf on Dwarf. Everyone's favorite. Yeah, it's an interesting thought, Captain Blood. Like, I don't know. I can definitely see an argument for, like, guys off the pitch or subs don't count as full value. But or a way of designating them as subs on your roster so they don't count. Yeah. But there's such a difference between the teams and having Riazzi, no games played. Pretty standard team. All right. Yeah, each team does such different things, has such different needs when it comes to the subs. And then, of course, some teams have players that, like Dwarf is in a really weird spot on subs because their cheapest player is still 70K, and their team typically is so hardy that resilient that you don't even need him unless you're rolling Death Roller. So it's like you don't really want to be paying every game for a guy you only use one in every 4 games or whatever. Whereas, ogre teams can stack the bench with snotlings a dime a dozen. Barely affects them. And also absolutely need them because they fall apart real easy. Smurf Village. I have 2 blitzers. Neener. There's definitely a lot of design space around substitutes, though, like the way they come on the field, potentially an area where they come on the field that could be blocked, by the other team to prevent them from coming on. Some kind of cost, to get them on the team or on the field early if you're going down. Yeah, it could be. There's a lot of design space there to be interesting. Not that they aren't interesting currently, but all this stuff is so hard to tweak because the game is pretty tightly wound as it currently is. One little change here has such huge effect on the rest of the game. Everything has to be massively tested. If only they had a community that was just rabid about playing constantly and arguing about the balance constantly. If only. Dwarves hitting dwarves. You guys excited? You ready? Yeah, I had a similar thought. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, basically my idea was just, like so many skills prevent the use of other skills. My thought was just have plus AV prevent claw from working at all. So not only is it making your guy more durable, but has additional significance on guys that you really don't want to be clawed down. I'm not sure that's enough to push it over the edge, is to make it desirable, but it might be. I mean, considering the prevalence of claw and that there's no answer to it. I mean, more armor is just not the answer, right? There's just nothing you can do other than have thick skull, I guess, or a team of AV7 that laughs at your skill purchases. But yeah, there's nothing active you can do to really combat it. Whereas most of the other skills have active counters that you can take. Dodge and tackle, block wrestle, Juggernaut doing its thing, grab and sidestep.
What was your favorite movement?
Yeah, except that tree every once in a while gets clawed down. But yeah, that's what you love to see too. Honestly, as a wood elf, is 4 guys focusing on your tree. Did I seriously just give him a touchback? Ugh, that's the worst. Boo! At least the death row is not on the field. You just go burp, burp, score. But if I get a casualty here, first half, I'm pretty SOL. How you doing, Destinoff? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, elves and fast teams, dodgy teams really are in a good position to wreak havoc on this ladder. Just because everyone's preparing their teams for the bash, because it's so bash heavy. But yeah, if it weren't for Chaos Dwarves being such a good team and making, their popularity means you're going to face them a lot, and they also happen to nullify most of the elf and dodge advantage. I think we'd have a much more balanced ladder, because not that many people play dwarves. They got pretty popular for a little while, but I think Chaos Dwarves are way more popular. And here we are. It's funny if they were to run a season where rather than taking the top of each race, they just took all the best record, right? Like the top 32 or whatever it is. I wonder how many Chaos Dwarf teams there'd be. Because the competition's already super stiff, and that's one reason why more people don't play them, is because there's always 5 really good coaches at the top of the ladder duking it out every season for that top spot. And so, if you're not one of the 5 best coaches playing them, you kind of feel like, well, forget it. I'll never compete with that, so why bother? Unless you're just playing for fun. But yeah, if there wasn't that restriction of top one of each race, I bet a ton of coaches would be playing, right? And that's a real problem, like. Oh, that's right. They used to be random, the mutations. That's pretty interesting. You could re-roll them, or could decline them and take your normal roll if you didn't like it. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. That's just Crucifer too. Like, there's always at least 2 other coaches fighting for that top spot. Excuse me. All right, Captain Blood. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah, there's been Dustin. It's so funny. Like when you play a lot of Blood Bowl. Like I've played humans like way more than anyone really should in an environment where they struggle. How you doing, Captain Marvelous? And it's like you're sitting there playing humans, and so many things can go wrong on like your drive or your defensive, half. And you're fighting, you're doing these miraculous plays to get your touchdowns, or these crazy, ideas to try and defend or knock the ball loose when you get just its smallest little chance, and you play them a lot, and you have a pretty good record, and then you go and play. Like I remember going and playing Undead, and I had never really played Undead. Like it was one of the first times I ran. I played a lot of Necromantic, so I understood a lot of the basics, but they do feel different. The mummies versus the flesh columns are very different. And I just felt like I just had to make basic decisions, and it was sort of up to the other guy to figure out how to overturn sort of this massive advantage I had. It was just weird. Like I just felt like, yeah, all things being equal, I'm gonna win. And this was against like human teams or, um, some of the tier two teams where it was like they're not quite tier one, but the difference just felt so massive because your game massively improves when you have to do crazy things in order to win. Like with humans, your game really improves because you can't play just halfway. But I definitely felt like I could phone it in with undead and just kind of get the wins. It was weird. Yeah, so I imagine Chaos Dwarfs some of that as well. Like it's just like, yeah, like it's just a really powerful team. Don't have many weaknesses, if any. Yeah, a great point. Yeah, flesh columns, as far as like bash pieces, they're not even close. Um, they have their own, very specific use, which is mostly as roadblock and tying up dudes in a really annoying way. Um, but the kind of thing mummies can also do. But yeah, werewolves are so amazing. That is the signature piece. And yeah, the feel of those two teams was very different, even though you really are just, sort of upgrading your fleshies to mummies and giving up the werewolves. And I never had that feeling with Necro. I shouldn't say never. I've had it for sure. Like whenever you play humans against humans, I just feel like, although humans can early on can give Necro a rough time, just because the strength advantage isn't that high, and you have a lot more block, and you actually don't really have a strength advantage if they have the ogre. Yeah. Too tall, brown. That's right. I've already delivered one dwarf versus dwarf game. Now there's a dwarf versus chaos dwarf game. It's ugly. It's getting ugly. Yeah, that's why I really like Necro because humans are like the try hard hybrid team. It's like, um, oh no, he's here. He's here. I just got the 12th guy so I could bench him for the, you know, and then I got that touchback. So it turned out to be a good decision because he could have just completely raced to the end zone. That's right. And he only plays for one half. So you're talking about a 25% watchability. What is the death roller going to do with this turn? Oh no, he's only standing up. Oh, that's the worst turn ever. Forget it. Amazing, too tall, Brian. Yeah. The thing is, I think you know me well enough that I'm willing to play with 11 linemen, so 11 journeymen. Oh. All right, here we go. Frenzy trap time. Gotcha. Look at these pals. So powy. Should I 2-die uphill this guy? Oh, not with my runner. I could push him there, though. If I'd been smarter, I could have served something. It's a classic. It's classic 1-die both down against an opposing dwarf. Hey, guess what? My turn was pointless. Look at that runner holding the line. All of his AV8. I didn't get any stuns, though. He gets the stuns. How does he do it? Where are you? We may not have been able to fire or hire you. I remember I hired you, and then because of the death roller, I had to back out some positionals. Yeah, I think you were one of the. I think you were the second troll slayer. It hasn't quite to see it, or hasn't quite made the team yet. I'll get there. Look at that death roller. He's just so excited to get on the field. He can't wait. He can't wait. Too tall Brown or too tall Troll Slayer? Too tall Troll Slayer is pretty good. Oh, I see. I see you're ducking out of this chicken shit outfit. He's switching the field. That's right. The engine's off. He's just like, he's got his mad face on. His white eyes. He's crazed. Just down to 6-pack of Monster Energy drink. I know. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about both these guys. Figuring out what they're going to do. Where's he going to blitz? Oh, there you go. You outsmarted me again. Curses. How you doing, Cactus? um, my nemesis. Definitely not my nemesis. Well, that's actually pretty accurate. Like a lot of the teams I play, a lot of teams everyone plays, they hate fighting dwarves. But yeah, so the reason I'm playing is because Runt52 cheered me 1,000 bits. New Kid cheered me 1,000 bits and bought me the Kemri expansion. So I had to play him. And then Runt said, well, that's all it takes. And he put in his, oh, very nice. So once he heard that's all it took, then he forced me to play dwarves. Put in his 1,000 bits and forced me to play dwarves. So here I am. Damn, Runner didn't die. I see how you guys are. One little thing goes different, and by little I mean dwarf. Take that push. That's right, I can be bought. 1,000 is the going rate to make me play a team. Although I might have to put a premium on Chorfs and Wood Elves because they disgust me. Their game balance disgusts me. I'm glad the only team I don't have is Chorfs. Thank you also for that, New Kid. You make me appear as a man of taste. Oh, jeez, this again. The chaos piece. Those are pretty shiny bits. But I still got to make those videos. I really should just get those videos done. I got my sound working better. I don't know why blitz him. Where am I even going? Who am I? What is this team I'm playing? I'm so confused. Rogue shenanigans. Why are you on the ground? All burning questions. Here's a totally just nonsense blitz. Jeez. I won't get my Troll Slayer blocked at all. I really am fishing for those gift subs. For the free bits. Oh yeah, they have that thing where you can watch a video. How long is it? I can only imagine what torture it is. Yeah, that's right, Dustin. You're not alone. It's just like So many people go through that same exact process, especially when they're first learning the game. I mean, 30 seconds, nice. Okay. So they didn't make you earn it. Imagine, I was figuring it was like one of those 30-minute, 30-minute like infomercials on some timeshare. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Very anti-dwarf. Should let it grow out. Get the Troll Slayer locks going. Get my mohawk back. Captain Blood, that's great. Yep. Agi, War Dancer. I mean, War Dancer's already just so ridiculous. You go get him strength or agility, and it's like, God, why? Yeah, I have more dwarves than him. That's all I'm gonna say. There's not a single guard on the field. Like, this is so gross. Yep, we're at 52. Put in his bits for dwarves. This season, I do want to try my min-max Amazon team. I think that'd be fun. That would interest me. But other than that, I'm not sure what else I'll play. Fouling the death roller. Yeah. Lizard Man. Oh, that takes me back. That's what I played a lot of when I was first getting into Blood Bowl 1. After having not played like Blood Bowl for a long time. I was like, ooh, what's this team? I'd never even seen what they were. I was like, I'll try them. They got a lot of strong dudes. Yeah, respect fluctuates pretty massively around here. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Amazons, but I did play them. I qualified with them this last season, and formed some opinions about it. Like, I just took all the positionals and just trying everything out, kicking the tires, sort of thing, and definitely formed some opinions on how they should be played, like, more efficiently. And of course, it got my min-maxi brain started. A free hobgoblin hit. What a treat. No armor break. Yeah, really the only idea differently is just do four blitzers. That's it. The rest line women. And line women carry the ball until they either get doubles and then they become another blitzer, essentially, with guard, or they get an attribute like move or agility, and they become the ball carrier. Abandon the catchers, who are, the second potential positional. Like the throwers are definitely disposable. Maybe if I roll a 1,000,000 dice, someone will get an armor break. I don't think that's really good. You ready for the 2 die? Oh, I can get a 1 die here, maybe. Yeah. Or I could just hit a hobgoblin. Whatever makes you happy. Dun da da da. Excelsior. Of course, I can't dodge away to put any tackle zones on the ball. So ridiculous. Yeah, new kid. Ugh. I don't get many hits on AV7 in this game, but when I do. A turn with an armor break. Now that's exciting. Automod definitely busted you on that one, Dustin. Talk about sports. Sports. Definitely sports. This is a sports channel. An armor break on the ball sack. Okay. I think that's what you meant to say. That doesn't sound strange at all. Okay, Cactus. I'll name the next one Cactus. I never know if that's like of significance, or there were 7,473 other cactuses. You just had to take the next one on the list. Now he's got to pick up the ball all over again. Oh, this game is so ridiculous. Totally legit. I agree 100%. Yeah. It always baffles me, but like how coming late to a thing, trying to get a name. That's another reason I ended up with Ondoval, because it was like the most obscure character reference from one of the most obscure source mods for an RPG that almost nobody played or read or owned. It was just like, okay, no one's gonna have this. It's like you forget about Raceland or Alucard or whatever. I guess Raceland shows my age, but man, back in the day, that name, holy crap, that name was all over the place. Everyone wanted to be Raceland. Yeah. All right, guys, stand up again. Stand up and make sure you're basing somebody. Dwarves just play different. They're just different, don't you know? Hey, are we gonna be treated? Oh, treats! Yeah, totally. I love the idea that, you know, that's Dracula's secret identity, right? It's like, oh, no one will suspect. I can walk through town. No one will know I'm the evil vampire. Who was that charming gentleman? Oh, that was Alucard. How about a frenzy trap? Is that the same as the three die block? Look how terrible that turn was. Bunch of pushes, one little stun. So exciting. Come on, Dwarf, you're not based. Get in there. There's such a temptation with dwarves to just base everything. Like, it's still really dumb to just give away blocks for free, but it's like you both agree to just, yeah, let's just throw 60 plus blocks. See what happens. See if anything shakes loose. Is this my drive or was this his? This is his, right? Okay. He did push down this side pretty hard, but then, yeah. Stuff. Now it's way back here. Oh no, an armor break. That was some drama. The big drama is who's he going to pick it up with? There's such a massive difference in the our two mentalities too. Like he's playing Chaos Dwarf, he's really thinking through his turns, and he obviously seems like he's trying to be real competitive and get off to a good start with his new team. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna hit some stuff and not really plan anything and just kind of play. That's right. He was a little pale, but other than that, seemed like a real proper gentleman. I wonder what Alucard, what kind of name is that? What origin is that? Is it Scottish? What is that? Uh-oh. Drama. But he already made the most important pickup, or the most important roll, which is picking it up. Oh, he re-rolled it just to get them both down. Let's go hit an AV7. Oh, I wanted an armor break there. That would have been glorious. Now what do I do? Where's he going to get to? Rocket shoes. Frenzy trap. Oh God. That's right. Levadna. Levodna. And that's how it caught on. He was such a nice gentleman. Everyone started naming their kids Dal Alucard. And that's why the internet is plagued with them now.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight.
Yeah. Look it up. You'll see I'm right. See, I'd pay money to do that My 23, that chromosome thing. You guys heard of that? Figure out all about yourself based on your genetics. If someone were actually handwriting a bunch of like nonsense, just making stuff up, totally fictional about your past, stuff like that, I would totally pay for that. Oh, look what I got. Where are you going to stuff that ball? Oh, it's fouling time. Oh, no. Is he giving up? Is he giving up on the scoring? That guy's not in scoring position. These Smurfs haven't been very savage, I'll be honest. Oh, it's so boring. Just two completely empty. Death Roller's gonna. Oh, really? That's interesting. Round 52. So that they don't catch you because you know you had a previous. They don't catch you, you know, you're matching DNA because you had a previous record and you got busted before or whatever, but because you filled out a My 23, right? Like they took a sample and put your name in a database somewhere. It's like, yep, there's Bob. He was never caught, but he did leave a lot of DNA at this crime scene, and he also just wanted to know where he was from. Wanted to learn a little bit about himself based on his chromosomes. And that's how they got him. They tracked down relatives. Put the whole family in jail while we're at it. Because everyone knows it's a genetic disposition, right? Oh, he's got the crime gene. I know, he ran away. He ran away. Oh, 87, take it. Oh. Thought we were going to have somebody removed from the field. Alas. So he's not scoring. I guess this guy could. Not when I get through with him. No, sir. All my dice. Oh, I'm going to run this guy up, too. You're not scoring now, silly. He is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he can't make it. Even if I quad GFI. God, this game's really hard. Just as slow as they come.
This is going to be enough to come out on top.
You sit down and rest. Think about what you've done. Yep. Yep.
Need to be close. Smell your breath and see the dead insects in there.
Can this guy score? Don't be ridiculous. They got a serial killer? Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, right. Oh, wow. I can see. Yeah, he was being really competitive. He's like, it's a win or nothing. That's great. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Because the DNA is close enough, right? Because of the family connection. Pretty sweet. Well, then now I can't use it. I can't use it because my kids or something are going to do something stupid in the future. And I was at Target with my girls the other day, and my oldest daughter was like, "I totally want to do this my 23 thing." And I'm like, "Oh man!" And now next time she asks, I'm gonna be like, "Why? You want to get busted by the cops? They'll find you. Your life of crime will be ruined." I don't know. Maybe he just couldn't stand it anymore. Yeah, go for it, Too Tall Brown. He couldn't stand it anymore. I mean, I'm practically delirious. Like, that game was just one armor break on 27 blocks. Like, it's just too much. He got a decent number off of his blocks, but I mean, this guy couldn't. Cactus, you couldn't even show your face at the end of it. You were just so embarrassed to have been a part of that. Like, no, get the camera off me.
What any advice for that man in troops then, Rob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So miserable. Woohoo! At least it wasn't. Oh no, I don't have any loaners anymore. That's right. It was a dry game. Whew. Didn't the first World Cup have like a bunch of dwarf teams in it? It was just like, here we go again, dwarf on dwarf. It was just like the ringing endorsement for everyone to come play Blood Bowl. It's super exciting and fun, and all kinds of crazy stuff